Hello, friends. Welcome to Standard 9. Today, we will begin with the first chapter of history, Sources of History. I hope you have your textbook or a PDF version of the same. Let's begin. What is history? True, it is a study of the past. Do you know how history is divided? Yes, history is divided into three main parts: ancient history, medieval history, and modern history. What are the sources for history? Good. The sources for ancient history are written, oral, and material sources. Medieval history also has written, oral, and material sources. Modern history is also derived from written, oral, and material, but thanks to modern technology, you also have the audiovisual source. Now, as digital natives, you are aware of the abundance of information available today. In the same way, in the modern period, we too have a lot of information coming from various levels and all these sources. We have written, oral, material, and audiovisual information coming at the regional level, the state level, the national level, and the international level. A good historian knows that he has to always check his sources, and the same could be used even for us. Always remember, before you spread anything, verify your facts. In this module today, we will be dealing with written sources. Some of the written sources are newspapers, periodicals, diaries, reference books, correspondence, documents and archives, government gazettes, postal stamps, and encyclopedias. However, you must remember that this list is not at all conclusive. Many more can be added. I'm sure you know what most of these are. I want to ask you, what is an archive? Correct. The place where historical documents are preserved is called an archive. Over here, you will come across public records, private papers, cartographic records, and microfilms. You can go here to gather first-hand facts and data. The main office of the National Archives of India is at New Delhi, and it is one of the largest among the archives in Asia. Coming back to written sources. Students, you all are citizens of one of the world's largest democracy. Do you know the four pillars of democracy? Perfect. Democracy rests on legislature, which makes laws, executive, which implements the laws, judiciary, which administers justice according to laws, and the free media, which investigates and reports any misgivings. I now request you to remember that the period that we will be studying this year, that is from 1961 to 2000, when we speak about media, we will mostly be focusing on print media because the internet as we know it came into force or was publicly available only after 2000. And so print media dominated media as it were. So at that time, newspapers were considered as the fourth pillar of democracy. Now, what exactly is the use of a newspaper? Excellent. You get information about national affairs, international affairs, politics, arts, sports, literature, social, and cultural affairs. The newspaper does not only end up news, it also gives us a lot of information about people and how they have achieved so many things. I'm sure you have come across many stories in newspapers which have touched your lives and motivated you to achieve something more. Now, newspapers also come out with supplements for special occasions. Some of these are regular, some come out on special times. You have in front of you some of the supplements that will you normally see with newspapers. Some supplements come during the time of Independence Day and Republic Day. The print media does not only end here. You also have newsletters of various movements, dailies, weeklies, and some monthly and annual magazines. These two are important. We now move on to one important agency, which is the Press Trust of India, India's premier news agency. It is the largest news agency in India and it's a non-profit cooperative among more than 500 Indian newspapers. It provides news coverage and information about the region. It's based in New Delhi. After the 1990s, the PTI started using satellite broadcast and it boasts of its own satellite, INSAT. It's the only news agency in South Asia to do so. They provide us with a lot of information about writing the history for modern India. Among print media, another important division is the publication division of the Government of India. You can be sure that their work is authentic and trustworthy. Under their research, reference, and training department, they come out with books like, for example, India 2000, which is an annual reference book. They come up with various other books which preserve and showcase India's heritage. They bring out speeches on presidents and prime ministers, books on contemporary issues, and they also deal with children's literature. They have also preserved Gandhiji's handwritten work. Now, they're not only book related, they also do a lot of journaling. So they have 17 monthly journals that come up. They also have Yojana, which basically deals with contemporary issues in 13 different languages. Bal Bharati, not your textbook, but it's a children's monthly that the public divisions government of India comes out with. If you want to know more about them, you can visit their website, which is mentioned on page 2 of your textbook. Another important source, although it looks small but travels around the world, are postage stamps. Now, postage stamps gives us a lot of information. You can see several changes in postage stamps since India became independent. They come in a huge variety in different sizes, and their subjects also are very novel. The Postal Department issues postage stamps on a wide variety of themes, some of which you can see on your screen right now. They also are used for the celebration of silver, golden, diamond, or centenary jubilees. I'm sure you will notice the Girl Guide movement stamp. Now, you cannot talk about stamps in India without mentioning Jal Cooper. Jal Cooper was given his own stamp in 1977. Born on 29th March 1905 in Mumbai, Jal Cooper was a philatelist. He is an expert on the subject of postage stamps. He even edited India's Stamp Journal. He is the founder of the first Philatelic Bureau India. He played a great role in taking the study of Indian stamps to the international level. His career began as a hobby as a postage stamp collector, but he went on to achieve the expertise of a philatelist at an international level. This only goes on to show that you can convert your hobby into a passion and reach great heights through it. So you see, girls, written sources are a valuable repository of history. I now request you to take out a book that you may take down these questions. If possible, please pause the video. Question 1. Draw a concept map and listing the written sources. 2. Write a short note on the PTI. 3. How do newspapers help as a source of history? 4. List down the achievements of Jal Cooper. 5. What are archives? You are requested to write down the answers to the above questions and show them to your teacher when we resume. Thank you. Have a great day. God bless.